Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to another segment of The MCR. My name's TJ, joined by Mac and Thirsty. Sorry about my absence last week. I had many personal affairs to attend to and just didn't have enough time. And thanks to Thirsty for helping Mac out and filling in for my absence. Okay.
Anytime.
All right. In this segment, and I'm sure this is bordering on old news for most, but there's been some developments, and of course I've got to throw in my 2 cents along with my associates here. But Jason Aldean, try that in a small town. Now, at the risk of tooting my horn, and I did grow up playing trombone, so I guess I can toot a horn.
Hey, did you ever find that?
I did find it, and I sold it to a high school student who was pursuing a career in playing trombone. So I no longer have the trombone. Do I know where the trombone is? Wherever this individual has it,
Just inquiring. I'm just wondering in our audience how many people have ever lost a trombone or couldn't find a trombone.
Lost a trombone. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, about a month ago, we talked about this song. And to take a little brief walk down memory lane, I was running around doing errands in the morning, had the radio on, listening to the weekly country countdown, and at that particular time week, it was at 23 or 24, and as I was listening to it, I says, "Holy cow!" As I was listening to the words, I thought, "Holy cow, we've got to make a segment out of this," And I'm not going to necessarily read the lyrics again because we did in that segment, but we were definitely ahead of the curve on this one. Yeah. I mean, and all I did was hear it on the radio. I didn't even know he had a video on it at the time. I don't know if he had even released the video when I'd heard it on the radio, but. Since he's released the video, now there's all sorts of political drama, accusations of racism, and oh my gosh, tisk, shame on you nonsense, and all that crap. And just out of curiosity, have either of you seen the video in question? Jason Aldean.
Is that the song where he's talking about this ain't gonna happen in a small town? Where he's showing the clips from the riots?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen snippets of it. I haven't seen the full video, but I've seen snippets of it.
Matt,
and I have not seen it.
Okay. For the record, as he's singing the song, he's showing clips of acts of violence, and these are actual news footage. These aren't staged recordings, where they brought in actors or something. These are actual news report video footage. When you see a house burning, it was a real house burning. When you see someone throwing a what do they call, a Molotov cocktail thing, that actually happened. So it's not like he made something up, is what I'm trying to say here.
Right.
And and there's accusations of racism, blah, 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 about 2/3 of the way through the song, because I had to watch I have watched the music video a few times now. And as I was watching it on one go around, about 2/3 of the way through the song, there's a line that says, makes reference to, and I wish I had copied it down because now I'm trying to do it from memory, but it mentions good old boys brought up right or something, and it shows an actual news footage of a customer confronting and basically stopping a perpetrator in an attempted theft, and I thought it was interesting that he would include that clip in his song of a good person taking action to prevent an act of crime, you know? So any thoughts from either of you two right now? Because I'm going to keep going if one of you don't start talking.
Well, I don't know, like, Mac, I know you and your siblings, you guys grew up in Detroit.
Yeah.
Definitely not a small town. I spent the majority of my life in a small, rural, close-knit community, and I'm still living here today, at 47. Excuse me. And I don't see how it is racist, because I'm going to tell you right now, living in a tight-knit community like we do, that's exactly how it is. That kind of stuff would not happen in an area like where I live. You know, me and my neighbors, we mow each other's lawns. We don't burn our houses down. You know, we'd be the first ones with a bucket of water to help put the fire out, not start it. So I don't see where it's considered racist.
Well, let me address that for a moment. I think that it's racist because any criticism, no matter if there's 100% evidence for your argument, any criticism of black people is racist. Apparently, they are so high on a pedestal that they cannot be criticized. You cannot tell the truth about them. You can only say what they say you can say. Now, I asked a coworker years ago. I said, "In your mind, what's racism?" He said, "Whatever I say it is." And I thought, well, there you have it in a nutshell.
That boils down to
black supremacy is what it is.
What they're saying now is the term has been used so much and pushed so often that it's lost all meaning.
Right. Yeah, it means nothing in regards to this video either.
Yeah, it's the same thing as you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi, you're a fascist, you're a it's lost all meaning. No matter what you do anymore, you're either a racist, fascist, or a Nazi.
Or some kind of phobe.
Yeah. Well, what I'd like to do is just a few days ago in Cincinnati, Jason Aldean had a concert. And Cincinnati Riverbend Center, or whatever the place was called. But he was talking to the crowd, and here's what he said. In the past 24 years, I've been accused of releasing. In the past 24 hours, I have been accused of releasing a pro-lynching song, and was subject to the comparison that I was not too pleased with the nationwide BLM protests. These references are not only meritless, but dangerous. There is not a single lyric in the song that references race or points to it, and there isn't a single video clip that isn't real news footage. And while I can try to respect others to have their own interpretation of a song with music, this one goes too far. As he was talking to the crowd, chants of USA broke out, at which time he performed his song, Try That in a Small Town. So
here's what I would tell anybody. If you don't think it's accurate, try that in a small town.
Yeah, really.
Because if you come to my small town, you're going to get lit up.
So
you're going to get lit up by the people who live here.
And something I'm inclined to add on to this segment, because we're always thinking about what our next segment might be on. And, I was already thinking about another country music singer by the name of Luke Combs, because he's in a little bit of a slight controversy. And I think we would have heard more about it if the Jason Aldean situation hadn't exploded into what it's become. But Luke Combs, he's done a cover of a song called Fast Car. And it was initially released, I want to say like 20 years ago, by a black gay female singer by the name of Tracy Chapman. And it was fairly successful. But Luke Combs did a cover on it, and it's been a smashing success in the country genre. As you know, I hate that word. But it's been a real big hit for Luke Combs. And now they're saying, well, because he's a white country dude performer, country singer, of course it's going to be real popular, as if as if it's a somehow because Tracy Chapman was black and gay. You know, in other words, they're pulling race into the whole context or mix of the song in regards to how successful it's been for Luke Combs. You know,
well, when you live your life thinking that it's cloudy because you're black, or you've got a flat tire because you're black, or anything that you don't like has to be about your skin color, that's the only conclusion you can come to. Of course it's because of that.
Hey, TJ,
yeah,
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a 47-year-old white country bumpkin, and I have Tracy Chapman's Fast Cars on my playlist, on my music list.
it's a good song. I liked it when she did it. You know?
That's
and you know what?
And that song's closer to 30 years old.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't know she was gay until last week.
I didn't know until you just told me.
Yeah.
Same here. I and I don't care.
Because I was about to say the same thing. I don't
Not
care. It
relevant
makes
to
no
anything.
difference on whether I like the song or not.
It's got to be drawn into the whole debate. You know, when you don't even know. Now, you know, I would tell you she's probably, but you know, I guess what I'm saying is until the whole controversy, to me, she was just a black female singer, and then all of a sudden, well, now they've got to throw the whole LGBTQ AEIOU into the mix, and then do a smear on Luke Combs. One last thought too, and we're going to come back to Jason Aldean. As of, I want to say Friday of last week, Jason Aldean was the #1 downloaded song on iTunes. And you know what #2 was? Luke Combs' Fast Car. So, you know, you got the two country music singers involved in controversy. And where are they at on iTunes? 1 and 2. You know, so how's that in your face? You know, I just, it just, you know, it kind of gets me fired up that, you know, some of these controversies are really just kind of made up and whatnot, you know?
Of course they are. I remember when Cardinal Ratzinger was elected Pope, and they were saying, he's controversial. And your comment was, says who?
Yeah, really. You know? So that's all I got for this one. And any final thoughts, either of you guys?
I just find it funny that everybody's got to find issues where issues don't exist just for issue's sake.
Yeah. Well, It's about power grab. If
you know what?
Call someone a name, then you have the power.
Yeah, and you know, I was actually thinking about talking about Luke Combs last week, and then all of a sudden the whole Jason Aldean thing exploded, and I thought, well, you know, here we go with that, you know? So that's all I got. Thanks, everyone. We'll catch you in our next little rant with the addition of Thirsty to the crew. Okay? So, as always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.